Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ironside cast with me, Matt. Okay, before we fall, we're all here on the eastern steppes, on the eastern front. Let's go through the players. We'll start with the Soviets. We have Abel the Ghost without a command choice. We have Von Lieb, also without a command choice. We have General Kaiser, again, without a command choice yet. And finally, rounding off the Soviet, we have Arthas. I assume they'll be picking a commander soon enough once they encounter the Germans or something, but for now, let's go through the Germans. We have Kakaboo for the Waffen-SS. We have Silverbuff for the Wehrmacht. Maverick straight away with Panzer Tactics for the Waffen-SS. And Commander Section straight away with Mechanisierte Tactics for the Waffen-SS. You need to see how this turns out. Looks like the Storm Pioneers are heading quite far north as an early thing. And to prevent the Soviets from getting up here. We also on the south have some other Storm Pioneers moving up very far. This moving very far is a pretty common tactic with the Storm Pioneers early on. I sometimes feel it's not a wise thing to do, but then again, everyone has their own opinions and things. And they are pretty good if they can get behind heavy cover. I just feel like you rush them into position, but they could get out-positioned and overrun. They are a very expensive unit to have early on. Now we have some Pioneers in this. Oh, those are also Storm Pioneers, never mind. Then we only have one Wehrmacht, so only one actual Pioneer squad here. So you also pick commanders. Yeah, Silver was going for Ostdivision, so Ost, Panzer, and Mechanisierte. So only Kakaboo has to pick something for the Germans. But Ostdivision is pretty good in team games, I think, because it allows the Germans to have some kind of field presence and dig in very defensively. It's very good on the Eastern Front. We have a bunch of Hitler Youth squads coming up here. Available to SS Panzer as a cheap alternative infantry in the early game. They're pretty competent in all things considered. And quite zealous. But they're not as good as Storm Grenadiers. But the Soviets still just all mowed down anyway. Panzer's encountering the Grenadiers of the Ostdivision down here. As the Germans move up to dig in as well. Panzerskips are not doing that well in these engagements. Oh, they got some good shots there though. But the Pioneers went out there thanks to the support of the Grenadiers. Soviets suffer heavy losses early on, but that's really not a big issue for the Soviets. As the Soviets can be covered pretty easily when it comes to manpower. So we have a command chest here on the northern flank. I think this is Shock. No, it's Tank Destroyer, my bad. Have some other command choices? We have not, just one Tank Destroyer so far for the Soviets. Storm Grenadiers and Storm Pioneers need to get to better ground here. The Soviets try to use the terrain around to an advantage here. But Storm Grenadiers do have some good bit of cover here. But the Wehrmacht is slowly creeping up using fortified positions. Which is what they preferably want to do. Use all the cover you can find. But the Soviets have kind of secured the northern island here with the fuel. With the Mechanisierte Grenadiers of the Waffen-SS trying to hold on here. Getting an early half-track, which is pretty common from Mechanisierte. Mechanisierte Grenadiers have dug in. But the Soviets almost brought up Maxims and everything to hold this northern island now. Hitler Youth are trying to hold this part of the map though. Wagen and MT-34, and looks like the Kakaboo has gone for SS Panzer. So we have double Panzer here for the Waffen-SS. Wagen is taking some big long-range shots here from the rifles, but Panzerskips suck at aiming, as you can see. The Hitler Youth are trying to apply some more pressure with an MT-34 now. USA just being handed out to some of the front of Vicky, but they're being shot to pieces by this MT-42. Very potent machine gun available to the Germans. And looks like the Waffen-SS is assaulting with the half-track. Good to see the Soviets so far lacking in anti-tank equipment. No, never mind. They do have one tank hunter. We need to be in a very careful position here. In the half-track spotted. So far, the Soviets are suffering some losses here. Wagen moving up. Soviets have suffered some heavy loss. They have brought up a Maxim to cover the southern flank. But the Grenadiers of the Kulvak now just mowing down the conscripts. Conscripts are not very survivable after all. Mthis trying to move here, but they are going to run straight into a machine gun. Oh yeah, I think it's reloading. It allows them to anti-tank it. Remember, the weapons do have to be loaded in the Company of Heroes, so... If a machine gun is reloading, that's the perfect time to assault it. But not in this case, because that machine gun was not reloading, obviously, so they just mowed down that squad. So it's suffering heavy losses. But what's new? The Germans have also suffered heavy losses, but they actually cannot afford to keep getting heavy losses. They are not as suited for attrition warfare. And Northern Ireland is slowly falling into German hands, but Max messing up here. It's out in the open, so the MT-42 here on the half-track they can lay it to pieces, as you can see. But Maxim is not going to stick around for long, I think. And the Grenadiers inside use a flamethrower. You have a lieutenant moving up, but there's a lack of AT equipment. Oh, that's a tank raid missed there. And a tank rifle hitting it. Another half-track goes down. And the Grenadiers alongside it. There we go. Able to service just hold fortifying the southern flank here. Plans to hold on and wait as the Germans set up quite some prepared lines, even fallback positions. Maxim covering the center here. But the center is German control. Now the problem with Soviet officers is they cannot hold out artillery strikes through terrain. They actually need to have actual visual before being able to call it in. But their barrages is generally more powerful to compensate and have the ranging shots, which the other factions do not have. Gonna force the MT-42 to run back. And he cancels the barrage at the end. Oh wait, no, he didn't cancel. Here comes the shells. So we're still applying pressure up here. I want to ensure that northern point gets into Soviet hands. More Hitler Youth are being pushed forwards. Lack of Soviet defenders at the moment, but instead is moving around here. So the Soviets also attempt to push up here with Frontaviki. They're running straight into MP40s. Lots of MP40s. When it goes out though, of course the Storm Pioneers off. And he's in the trench though, getting the finishing kills. More Grenadiers of the Wehrmacht are pushing up, all being equipped with MT-42s thanks to the faction-wide upgrades. Does prevent them from getting other upgrades though, but MT-42s are pretty useful. So they can lay down a lot of firepower in this little area now. There's some Storm Grenadiers nearby for support. Some Grenadiers run off due to the maxim. E-70 advancing on the northern flank. Marine being tossed out by the T-70. Has to back off before these guys can throw Panzerknacker. And they get suppressed, that's gonna fail, so that T-70 can actually just run wild up there. However, there are some Freudenberg nearby. It's another unique unit available to SS Mechanisierte, who actually has actual anti-tank grenades, but they need to not be out in the open. T-70 maintains his distance from them though, knows they cannot get too close. We do have a Valentine tank coming up as well for the Soviets. We have more commanders. Let's see, we have Tank Destroyer up here. We have Tank. Nothing here and nothing there. The Soviets are still being somewhat cautious picking their commanders. Soviet bunker line is faltering here to the advance of the Waffen-SS. Wehrmacht is also preparing to set up some troops to help. Oh, the Soviets are really suffering in the ground department at the moment. half on the northern flank, where they are preparing to do a comeback. Panzerjägers are present though. I'll say even they can take out that T-70, but the T-70 is a very small target. It's not easy to hit. And the southern flank, the Germans are continuously advancing. Is there a point down here? There isn't. It just seems awkward, it's like an empty part of the map there. I think that's for a victory point, actually. If you play with victory points. Trench quickly been dug in here by the Mthis. They want to hold this new ground they've secured. But artillery is being called in here by the Soviet lieutenants. That's going to force the Germans to relocate that machine gun. And remember, cover is directional, so those conscripts have to move back. So it's bringing a little bit of a push here. But there's an MG-44. Lots of pressure being applied here, or an attempt to apply pressure anyway. That is a lot of conscripts, so perhaps sheer amount of numbers could actually turn this fight. MG-44 is trying its best, but it's being hit by that Maxim. Artillery is going in the Maxim, no forcing it to move. Before it's mow down the conscripts out in the open. On the northern flank, the Hitler Youth are still holding on. The 10th SS is digging in alongside the 9th SS. So it's digging in front of them. Instead of a medic station and everything. Did the T-70 get destroyed? No, it's down there. It's still getting repair stuff. Hitler Youth are trying to make a move for it. They'll soon run into more of the Soviets' defenses. But the southern flank is in German hands now, which the Soviets probably do not like, as that's given the Germans quite a hefty munitions advantage. Soviets are definitely having issues advancing. Looks like Arps picked a commander. I think this is rifle. Indeed, they picked rifle commander. So only General Kaiser needs to pick a commander now. There's some light artillery here from the Germans to give them some time. As they are taking in a bunker. This is probably going to be a medic bunker of some kind. To allow them to maintain the presence here. Command... No, that's another command tank. Just Luke's... An actual Panzer II Luke's coming into the field here. I want to say the pack being rolled up behind it. Panzer IV arriving here for the other buff that says Panzer Tactics. So it's lacking in some heavier AT equipment. The Panzer IV could probably do a lot of work, but the Valentine does have a pretty decent gun. But Soviets have dug in. A lot of machine guns are going to hit any German infantry. Try to advance up here in the open ground, including there's a minefield as well. Luke slowly advances here, preparing its autocannon. Has some issues hitting though. Just in the cover for the most part. The Soviets are preparing for some kind of push up here. Balls are being tossed like grenadiers. But the Germans have prepared an MG-42 back here. Luke's continues his advance. But there is a lack of AT equipment from the Soviet Union. T-5476 has been prepared though. Panzer IV J advances on the northern flank. There's a Sis gun nearby, however. And the Panzer IV backs off. Luke's is on a killing spree here, or an attempted killing spree. I doesn't want to get too close to Soviet infantry. Plus of the Soviet infantry having access to anti-tank rates. So it's also doing an assault in the center. having a little bit more luck, but they're still probably being pushed back thanks to the Panzer IV. They managed to get a squad inside this trench though. Just gonna hold up that Panzer IV for a little bit. Valentine going in for a flank. But a good shot there, actually injuring the driver. And Panzer IV has a very bad turret traverse rate, and it gets killed by a Mthis gun actually. Now that's the opening the Soviets could use to take control of the center, but lots of grenadiers are advancing. There's a Panzer nearby as well, smoke being popped. Allow the Valentine to back off. Just drink some of my soda here. Ah, good raspberry soda. But the Soviets are now laying claim to the center here. Even a Capitan is present to provide some smoke barrage coming in soon. Even if 476 advances on the southern middle how do I say this? Middle center flank? Yeah, that's probably because this is the bottom flank, southern flank. But T-54s are starting to arrive, and lots of T-54-76s can certainly get the job done. Ooh, overshot there. And he's gonna try and attend with the Panzerfaust. It's a good damage, but T-54 can still back up safely. Well, the Waffen is trying to assault down here, but looks like they suffered heavy losses. Fort 8 could be established here by the Soviet Union. Inside the little village. But the Soviets can now start to apply a lot more pressure. T-54-76 keep an eye on the center now. Looks like the mechanics here, the SS is slowly creeping up with defenses. And we establish a little bit of a beachhead with a pillbox and a flak gun. That Siskin is trying to get some shots in. T-54 circles southwards, but there's a pack. Fails to penetrate though. But there's a Panzer IV in the flank. I suppose around does not hit much. The Panzer IV probably, not Panzer IV, the T-54 has to back off. That's with the Grenadiers rushing up. Montevicia suffering some heavy losses though. But the T-54 certainly needs some repairs quick. This is going on. We also have a T-54 preparing to advance on the northern flank here. Another Panzer IV. There's also a pack on the flank. T-54 taken out. And the tank rifle is sitting in from the trench though, doing minimal damage. Heavy mobility damage, so this thing might soon get completely immobilized. Captain Panzerfaust hits it, and tank hunters take it down thanks to that. Because the Soviets actually used a lot of captured German equipment, just as the Germans used a lot of captured Soviet equipment. There was a lot of using of each other's equipment on the Eastern Front. T-54 advanced in the center here. Doing a high explosive round. Oh, it takes out most of the squad there actually. If not, an entire squad died. But T-54 has to back off due to the pack. Panzer IV advances. It's difficult for the Soviets to advance on the southern flank. Looks like the Sturmgrenadiers are gonna threaten that heavy mortar. Heavy mortar has to back off. 100mm 80 gun has been set up though. But the T-54 is slowly just applying pressure. Main gun lost there from a shot. Looks like a half target destroyed here on the Soviet side. Stukas opening fire on the center Soviet front line. Trying to hit into the trenches, but failing somewhat.
An anti-tank gun has taken the field.
And what's being prepared here by Soviet lieutenants. Let's get that flak gun. Not a bad call, all things considered. That flak is probably Causing other issues. Another Panzer 4G arriving. Black is cleared out by that assault of mortar shells. Valentine tank still near the center, providing a little bit of a nuisance. SS Panzer is trying to advance up here. But they are under a lot of fire as they attempt it. They are, however, very good infantry. But even they have to pull back bit by bit. You know, the Soviets are trying to advance up here, but they're being suppressed by the MGs of the German infantry. Another T-54 nearby. And the pressure will continue. All T-54s near the southern flank. Those are the conscripts trying to circle around. See if they can get around the German defense. It's honestly pretty smart. They can just do it in encirclement if they can succeed. The conscripts behind heavy cover are actually winning out against the Sturmgrenadiers, as you saw. Like, having directional heavy cover really is a big factor. Almost all the Grenadiers now from the Wehrmacht are nearby. It's not an easy way to advance. Little Comanches from the little Kaiser either. Guess they're fine just being without a commander for them at the moment. Siberians on an open flank here now for the Soviet Union. Another flak gun is trying to be set up here by the Germans. HU-5 is being prepared behind us. There's a lag of Soviet infantry from the infantry commander. Instead relying more on the heavy artillery support. Oh, this to try and soften and flatten up the German defense. The Mouse Grenadiers are trying to get into a better position, but failing somewhat. They have set up an 88 somewhere. So that's going to be for the center. Not a bad choice. Actually, if the Soviets decide to mass arm on it. This took us a first opening fire. Hitting around the front line. Actually destroying 2 AT guns. That's a pretty damn lucky shot, but there's a lack of armor to capitalize on it. Winsberg tried to flank the northern flank there. The Soviets keep an eye with the Maxim. The man tank is on the field here as well for the Mechanisierte, a Panzer 4J. You also an Ostwind here to try and take out Soviet aircraft, I suppose, if Soviet air power is going to show up. And we also have a command half track arriving. HU-5 is on the advance. But our flak gun is just applying pressure to the trench line.
Mortar team has arrived.
That's 4J in the southern flank. The Germans dig in again. But the Soviets have made it very hard for the Germans trying to get the fuel points. They have lots of machine guns pointed at them. And also heavy mortars shelling the area. You see the shells coming in. I got hit. No blitz. Hard to say, but the Germans have managed to capture the fuel point here in the center. And will the German panzers advancing on the northern flank? I don't think the Soviets can stop this at the moment. Well, they have prevented them from catching the point at least. Another Valentine tank approaching, but you also have a major in the field here for the Soviet anti-tank units. Had the Panzerfaust being used, doing a good bit of damage there to the Panzer IV. Mthis grabbing the Mthis again. The man had trying to get some artillery strikes in. Siberians also remain near the area. Having that 8 stations is probably helping a lot.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Indeed, here comes the German artillery to try and provide cover for them. Oh, the shell's even landing near the officer himself. Not hitting much else at the moment, though. Let's see, 1mm 80 can keep an eye on this part of the map. And Panzer is heading southwards here to try and secure this point. Flanking the Soviet machine gun, throwing grenades. Lots of grenades, that's a great assault. Actually destroying the machine gun.
More of our troops have been lost.
Austrian trying to flank up here. T-45s are now starting to arrive. And these are a problem here for the German tanks. There's 85mm on the T-34 chassis, surprisingly useful. Who would have thought? Took some more armor arriving here for the after the test. T-476s are threatening the center. Still just applying pressure. Even being upgraded with extra armor for the veteran one. And a tank commander, so it's more accurate with its gun. Hamper terms slowly being established here. Unique building available to Ostdivision. Basically, it's a bunker with a Panther turret on the top, as the name suggests with Panther term. Heavy frontal barrage going in here from the Soviet Union, but the flak is surviving most of it. Oh no, never mind, it's been cleared. But the Soviets lack with anything to push with afterwards, or even doing. So it's the first open its fire again. It's aiming around here, I imagine. Yeah, it wants to trade air as T-34s, but none of the rockets hit them. Arthas leads some more infantry, I imagine. Yeah, but recon team actually keep in line with the German front line. Panzer IV 80 is being repaired by one of the Waffen-SS players. But T-3476 is on the move again. Needs to be cautious at the center though because that 88. Shock troopers are present, however. Looks like General Kaiser's gone for shock army. And IS-2 is being repaired. They see what that MT-42 is. And they're going to see if they can clear that with a grenade assault. But they're being suppressed by other units. The shock troopers have to pull back there. It might have to be that shock trooper squad. Indeed it is. Well, that's going on. The Soviets trying to do a push up here with that 85s. They still need to be careful with them. They're still just T-34. Despite having an 85mm gun and a superior turret armor-wise, it still has to worry about the German tanks. And German has a tank there. There's a Fuß driving up here at the southern flank here. KV-1 is on the field. I'm going to try and apply pressure to the southern flank here by the looks of it. But they need Soviet infantry to push up alongside it. Just tanks is not going to help much.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Choose the first opening fire. It's going to try and hit the tanks. So far just doing stunning and doing heavy mobility damage, but The Soviets can repair all of it. IS-2 now near the center. What do the Soviets know about the 88? But the Soviets are just putting down smoke now. They're trying to take out those pillboxes bit by bit. And so far they're succeeding. I assume the center has been discovered. What is who's firing at though? It is aiming around the IS-2, but not doing that much damage. It is doing some mobility issues for the IS-2 though. T-54s and the Valentine is threatening the northern flank here. Panzers are preparing for counter assaults. They want to take out those 85s. T-55s now applying pressure. Honestly, I feel the T-45 should just be available to all the Soviet commanders. That's just a personal opinion, but I do think Tank Commander, as they have them at the moment, should have them for much cheaper. Let's see, where did I get into? Yeah, they are Tank Commander. I was just wanting to be sure. I do think Tank Commander should have the ability to get them for much cheaper with the whole mass production thing. But I personally feel all Soviet commanders, perhaps except Tank Destroyer, because Tank Destroyer gets the Su-85s instead of the Su-100s, should have access to the 85s late game. Because the 85s are just cool. I like the 85s. That's a Tiger tank though. Even the 85s need to be cautious of that 88mm gun. Ooh, barely survived that. Su-100 needs to get a good shot in now. Ooh, losing deflection damage. Not much else. Heavy Soviet artillery strikes are being prepared, those from someone. Shit, from where? But it shells the front line here. Ooh, a decent amount of damage to the front line. I'm not sure who called it in though. Another 100mm being set up here by the Soviet Union. Panzer IV is assaulting. Recon team has been spotted and mowed down. There's a Tiger tank on the south. On the enemy did not penetrate. High sportsman being noted. Picks up the crew again. But the Panzer IV has been taken out. Oh, good shot from the 76 there. Another shot there from the 76. Is it gonna make it? Nope. It is only a T-44 after all, but still 2 penetrations in a row doing heavy damage to the Tiger. That is impressive from a 76. IS-2 took some heavy damage. Oh, and it was always the rate of the 88 too. Second IS-2 is arriving on the front line. But the Soviet armor is just amassing. And the T-54, 85 is on the move. They're gonna try and run over everything, I imagine, once they get enough numbers of them. That's a Soviet tank army with the T-45s and a 85As to lead them as well. That's a lot of pressure they can apply. Much of the local infrastructure is being pummeled to hell. And there's much infrastructure to begin with. This is after all somewhere in the steppe. T-44's on move. 88 has turns, but it's not pointing straight at the 85s yet. Elephant keeping an eye on the center here with its high velocity 88. Same gun as these guns, I think. So far the Soviets seem to be having the upper hand slowly. But the Germans still hold the southern flank and quite firmly at that. More Tiger tanks are being prepared. Even the Tiger tanks have to be cautious of those 100mm guns. And also the IS-2s. 85's on the move here. Oh, Tiger tank could get hit hard. So far it's being very lucky with its deflection rounds. Well, deflection rolls rather. Smoke pop from the ace. 85's is certainly being a little bit of an issue for the Tiger. Elephant is slowly creeping up. Probably not the most good position for it to win, but it is covered by 288s. So it's not easy to take it out. Oh! Never mind, that 100mm to get out a really good shot on it. And 85's rolling around again. It's because of that pack though. Looks like the Luftwaffe is keeping eyes on the front line. Like a tank on the flank. And so there's a Fuss coming in as well with rockets. Trying to take out the support of the 85s. Took out 185 as well. Oh! Ace down! Now that 85 is stuck out there. Or about to be stuck anyway. There it goes. The packs so far keeping the 85s at bay. But I do feel the Soviets should just get access to the 85s as a base thing later on. Again, just personal opinion, because I really like the T-54-85. I think it looks cool. Also, looks like that Tiger got destroyed. And while this is going on, looks like the Mechanics is setting up Immergrün howitzers to help cover the front line. And they have begun shelling the front line already. 185 taken out. You know, the IS-2s remain down here and just waiting for orders. There's an IS-2 up here as well. KV-1 heading to the northern flank. Actually, that's just a KV-8, my bad. And a KV-1 down here running for the rifle company. Or rifle division. Also some anti-tank guards here, but they already opened fire, so they cannot stealth and sneak around easily. Tiger tank slowly advances, but it has to deal with an SU-100. It doesn't want to get hit by an SU-100, I can assure you that. The Manhattan takes the hit instead. Now the Tiger tank knows it's SU-100. Needs to get a shot in on it. Oh, that SU backs off. Immergrün meanwhile shells the Soviet front line. Second SU-100 on the move. Needs to be very careful here. And looks like the Luftwaffe is keeping eyes on the front line again. So it's trying to secure the center bottom point, but it's not really working out. Not going that well for the Soviets in advancing at the moment. The Germans have kind of dug in. And I feel as if the Soviets need to apply more pressure and find a way to push through, because the Germans are just going to amass more panzers and the Immergrüns are just going to shell them to hell. Because the Immergrüns are just really good at doing that once you get to the later parts of the game. Hitting straight at the truck, actually. Direct hit. Tiger tank and Panther holding the southern flank, taking out another T-34. Heavy mortars needs to start shelling. Needs to coordinate their fire, I think. But so far the Germans are keeping the Soviets off that point. I think the Soviets need to pivot southwards at some point. They need to apply pressure on the other flanks. Recon teams moving into the point, but recon teams cannot capture ground while they're stealthed. Man squad moving up here. A little bit of a risky maneuver, I'd say. But they provide vision for the Stukas of Fus to open fire. The naked rain rockets. Oh, SU 100 taken down as well. So it's designed to suffer heavy losses. So many rockets landing here. I love Panda setting up. Another Stukas of Fus. How many Stukas of Fuses do they have? Elephant taking a shot here in this KV. Diameter turret. The Stukas are relocating after that. Very smart. So it's having issues dealing with these heavy German panzers. And a Panzer March up there taking out an 85. Tiger tank circling around here alongside the Panzer IV supports. That's probably a good way of doing it, having a Panzer IV. Oh, but SU 100 gets a good shot in. Trying to get that SU 100 quick. But Tiger tank gets taken out by the Valentine, I think. Valentine does have a pretty decent gun, so do not underestimate it. Despite its small size. Actually taking down a gun on the Panzer IV. Now I need to focus on the command tank. Valentine is trying to do so. Injure the driver. Oh, but fails to penetrate on the next one. Needs to get another shot off. Oh, and that's a shot from an 85. Valentine is stuck, though it's immobilized. He might have to take out another Panzer IV. It's actually a veterancy 5 Valentine. So it fires really fast now. Good on this little Valentine. They need to get this thing repaired. The Soviets are still massing troops on the southern flank. They managed to secure a point while all this has been going on. Now managed to bring up a half man to oversee the front line. Valentine is being repaired. Imoko is shilling the Soviet front line again. They want to deny this hero Valentine. Because the Fus is opening fire, they want to kill the hero Valentine. It's still alive though. Man, so many rockets and artillery sitting the Soviet front line here. Oh, those rockets do so much work. Elefant is preparing to make a move again. There's also another Tiger tank. We have lots of Tiger tanks here. Just a lot of heavy stuff from the Germans. They're sending a lot of their heaviest equipment to this little front line. This must be a very vital point in the front line if they're sending this much heavy equipment. So it's preparing a fresh batch of troops here to march into the contested island. Luftwaffe flies overhead again. Riding the Germans with more intelligence. Tiger tank is also present here. Loading a heat round against infantry. Which does something, but not too much. Now the northern flank is going to be in German hands, and the Germans are already scavenging the wrecks. Good to see. Gives them a lot more resources to work with to recuperate. Like 50 fuel from a destroyed Tiger. That's a pretty damn good haul. But the Soviets having issues here. Bazooka fails to penetrate the front of the Tiger. And the Soviet losses are really starting to mount here. The anti-aircraft half-track here for the Soviet Union. Pentagon here screening for the Tiger tank. But there is a 100mm AT gun. Getting a very good shot in that Tiger. I think that's actually gonna be make it stuck. Yeah, it's immobilized. One more shot and that thing is basically dead. And while this is going on, the IS-2 is pushing on the southern flank with shock troopers. They cleared the trench though, and more shock troopers can now advance. I think the southern flank of the Germans actually might be in jeopardy here, as the Soviet shock troopers advance with the IS-2 support. Might have to send a Tiger down there, and indeed they are. But even the Tiger might have issues facing an IS-2. Yeah, the Tiger up here did get destroyed. There's an ISG-152 here from the Soviet Union as well. IS-2 advances, but it doesn't know the Tiger is approaching yet. More conscripts are moving up to support. Try to cover the flank. Shock troopers are really accurate, so they are... Oh, and a good shot there from the IS. Tiger tank has been revealed. There's also a B4 being prepared here. And it already has fired by the looks of it. AP round loaded here by the IS. But the Tiger needs to stay within range before it can keep firing the AP round. But that's the thing you have to be afraid of if you're using a Tiger tank against the IS. The IS can just swap to an AP round and kill you. Tiger didn't manage to penetrate. The IS-2 does have more frontal armor than a Tiger, I think. I think it's actually the most heavily armored vehicle on the Allied roster. Like, even Panzerschrecks and Panzerfaust sometimes have issues penetrating the front of this thing. But the Tiger so far is still doing a valiant attempt with his 88. Missing another shot, another IS moving up. Stuka's foot landing around to stun. And getting a good shot, bit of damage there. One penetration is what they need. But the IS is back off. Another 100mm set up. Looks like the Soviets have just been 100mm across the front line. But the Soviet front line on the northern flank has kind of collapsed. Lufthansa slowly creeps up. Lots of howitzers and 88s are just being set up by both sides. The Soviets are bringing up more equipment. But the IS-2s keep threatening the southern flank here. The Germans cannot apply enough heavy armor to keep all these ISs away. Oh! Oh! That's the power of the IS right there. Just killing all the German infantry. This Tiger tank just has to back off, I feel. It's not safe. Another 100mm being set up. How many 100mm? There might need to be a cap on them, because it seems you can set them up a little bit too frequently. Artillery in the center. Oh, destroying one of the 100mm actually. Looks like the attack in the center alongside some Panzer Grenadiers trying to make an assault. There's a lack of Soviet equipment to stop it. More rockets are landing somewhere. Not sure where though. Looks like this up here. It has a lack of automatic weapons pointed at the Panzer Grenadiers. That is not suppressed, I mean. But it isn't suppressed. But the Panzer Grenadiers are still forced off. ISU in the move here, and this is also a thing the Germans have to be afraid of. This one fires a 152mm gun. And it's been loaded with AP rounds, so this thing can just chew straight through German armor. Did the elephant get destroyed? Where's the elephant again? Oh no, elephant is still there. It's just pulling back. The Soviets now have a little bit of a foothold on the southern flank finally, which they've been waiting for. But the Soviets need to bring up more infantry to just assault the enemy positions, I think. We need to keep applying pressure. The Soviets are even trying to take the center point here with the Siberians, but too much fire. Sounds like something got self-destructed somewhere. Because it had like the self-destruct time countdown. P-3485's on the move. Imogen is shelling the Soviet lines again. Elephant and Tiger Tank is present. Sugus and Fusas are moving about. Close to the B-4 preparing to fire. They've loaded it. ISU took a shot. 100mm took a shot too, killing a Tiger. E4 has to fire. What's it aiming at? Oh, right here! That prevents the German infantry from pushing up. 85's on the move, but they have to deal with all those 88s. That's a lot of 88s. And there's two Sufus rockets as well. IS-2s are pushing down here, but there's more rockets as well. One hitting straight on the IS, but the IS survives. I think barely. A little bit under half. Still, that's pretty damn lucky. Double Tiger Tank on the southern flank. But the Kakaboo is completely out of infantry. Just some Storm Pioneers left. Panzer needs to try and secure ground here. Pillbox providing supporting fire. Looks like there's some graphical issues there with the gibbering of the bodies. Happens sometimes. Lots of Panzer IVs holding the northern island. Soviets have really no way of making a comeback up there easily. ISU is being pulled back, far back for repairs. 85 has managed to get up to the front line. It's probably trying to destroy that 88. Yeah, but it's not really having it, luck hitting it. Panzerjägers are moving around. But now the 85s have an opening they can exploit. Probably going to be those pillboxes. Needs to move quick. Yeah, the shock engineers are trying to push up, but that's not going to be easy. 85 stick now thanks to the Panther term. What if are arriving? Lafand is trying to deal with it. More artillery landing around the front line. B4 needs to prepare for another shot, I think. All the Panzer IVs are just sitting around. It's not a lot to stop them if they actually decide to commit to an assault, but they don't know that. They also lack the infantry to actually support an assault. More rockets sitting around the ISs. KV-1 has been decrewed from the rockets. Looks like there's some NKVD infantry pulled in. Pressure keeps being applied all across the front line. You have a very wide front line here, with both sides being quite fortified in too. It has their weak spots obviously, but much of the front line is just fortified. 85 is heading to the northern flank. Cautious though, there's a pack, and they lack infantry supports to screen for them. Pack tries to get a shot off, fails. And their cover is still holding for now. Cover is slowly being taken apart. More T-54-85s pushing. The pack is under a lot of pressure. Here comes the guard trying to support the tanks alongside the sappers and the conscripts. Lots of pillboxes in the way though. But the Panzer IV should have some issues dealing with all these 85s. As you can see. Panzer IVs are not really good at dealing with 85s. Also because the 85 penetrates, that's a lot of damage. But those pillboxes are causing a lot of issues. But the Soviet pressure is starting to build up here. There's also a big push down here of Soviet infantry on the southern flank. But the Elephant and the Tigers are working together down here. More rockets coming out as well. IS-2 gets taken out. But the Soviets are pushing across the north here. There's not a lot to stop them anymore. Packs are quickly being relocated to the front and more pillboxes have been established. Artillery in the way to buy them time. Well, there might actually be Soviet artillery, I'm not sure. ISU also pushes up. But the T-54s are being taken out bit by bit. And again, what's new? Pack tank is quickly moving up here. ISU needs to take a shot there. It's been hit. I think it's taking a while to load that big gun. Yeah, it's getting cleared out there by the Tiger.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
Yeah, the Svero boy takes a lot of time to reload. You need to be very careful whenever you fire that thing. Like the 88 for the Germans is much quicker to reload than the Soviet guns. The Soviet guns take a long time. But the Soviets have gained some ground now. Because they just destroyed the Rex here to deny the Soviets a chance to reclaim them. Actually, the Soviets doing it. So the Germans gonna reclaim them. The B4 hits around here. Was a severe amount of damage to the German defense. Hansgani is trying to establish a foothold in the center again. IS-2 hit us southwards here. Elephant is in the way though. Doesn't penetrate. B4 has been cleared out. There's actually no Soviets on the hill. The hill has been completely hollowed out here by the German artillery. But the IS has arrived. And the rocket artillery continues. Just continuously applying pressure here to the Soviets. Panther tanks have been prepared now. Looks like Kakapu is just going straight into full-on panzers and nothing else. Guess they're not even going to rely on any infantry. You also have a Hetzer here. Little diminutive tank hunter available to the Germans. Command half-track taken out. Oh, it's not a command half-track. It's just a normal half-track with the command squad inside. Gotta say it's been cleared out clearly. Command squad has to pull out of there. But the Germans need to think about where they want to actually, you know, assault from, because the Soviets are just going to slowly build up their steamroller now. If they can just get enough stuff to apply more and more pressure. Because I feel the rocket artillery is not doing more than... It is actually doing a fair amount of damage, but I'm not sure it's doing enough. I think the Germans need to find a way to push through. Elephant is engaging here with the IS-2s. AP round has been loaded. Doesn't penetrate. Elephant does have a lot of frontal armor. Oh, there we go. That's a good shot, but the 100mm also gets a good shot there. Oh, and the Panther term takes out the IS. The Soviets can just keep applying on with this attrition game. Soviets do not care about the attrition game as much. They can suffer the losses. The Germans really cannot. And if the Soviets can just spread out enough and actually just apply pressure everywhere, the Germans cannot be at all places at once.
Ready for action.
Can you spot the Hetzer? What's the Hetzer?
Ready to deploy.
Panther getting some good shots there on the side of the IS-2. So we need to clear that Panther term, to be honest. Ooh, 88 took a shot, but did not penetrate. Ooh, those Sturmgewehrs could be a problem for the shock troops, but they get behind cover. And the PPS hate to start to rip into them. They have to reload though. We need assault going out. Ooh, being out in the open is not going to be the thing they want to do. And they have nothing to really deal with this Panther term. Lafan moving up again. Oh, they do have a satchel charge. Never mind. And there we go. That's the Panther term cleared out. Oh well, not really cleared out, but now it cannot fire its gun. Also, the Red Air Force is flying overhead now. Probably some anti-tank bombs, which honestly should do more against the infantry. Lots of heavy armor down here for the German side. Panther and Double Tiger. There's actually no infantry for Kagaboo. Kagaboo has no foot presence. Elephant creeps up slowly. And the Soviet infantry is prepared to apply even more pressure. Because the Panther term can no longer fire, it's kind of just a sitting duck. Well, it already was a sitting duck, but now can it fire back? So it's continuing to dig in the wasteland created by the immigrants. Sturmgewehrs now encountering more of the Soviet infantry. The Soviets just don't care that they're being shelled to hell. They got more men they can send in. I wonder when the Germans realize they cannot keep up this pressure somehow. I think the Germans need to figure out they need to push. Elephant trying to push up here. Het's trying to also threaten. More rockets coming in. It looks like the Germans have finally pushed. They're doing a bigger rocket assault. And then the heavier panzers are advancing. I don't think the rocket's hit enough. But they have pinned down the 100mm. That's all they need to do. And the Panther needs to keep in motion, I feel, in this case. IS-2's coming under flank, though. That's going to be a lot of 88s pointed at IS, though. AP round has been loaded. Oh, it's been dazed! Dazed by the elephant. It's gonna have to force it back. KV-1 trying to hold on here, but it's not gonna last for long. Yeah, the Soviets might have lost the southern flank here. But there's a lack of German infantry to catch the ground. Oh, big hit at the side of the elephant! By the 100mm. But the Panzers are on the move. But yeah, continues to be kept an eye on by this recon unit. There's no infantry nearby to spot them. Did the elephant get taken out? Oh, the elephant did get taken out. It ran out of control. Oh, rockets landing. One of the meter takes out the Panther. And another Tiger. There's so many heavy tanks today. And this is just intense. The Tigers trying to push up on this flank. But you need to be careful at 100mm. Doesn't penetrate. Explosive round is being loaded. Misses. It's eagerly going out. That's one Tiger down. So it's maintained the pressure. But I feel the Surge just need to also find nobody to press through. Both sides are just so dug in. Like, how does anyone push it? Like, look at all the tank wrecks on that Northern Island. This is absolutely nuts. Also, is this double Stormtrooper I'm seeing? Yep, that's double Stormtrooper. So I guess the Mavericks transition to using Stormtroopers now to see if they can get an infantry advantage and push through. The Supers and Fuses move up to be behind the Tiger, but I think this recon... Oh, the recon hasn't spotted them. But they will see them soon. Yeah, they spot the Supers and Fuses. So the Supers now know where they are. There's 100 down here. IS-2 took some heavy damage. Rockets are firing. Hitting this little village here. Setting both the buildings ablaze. S-100 misses. That's a long ass range in the S-100. Holy shit. And both sides are just so dug in. Both T-45s are being prepared by the tank commander though. I assume they have the upgrades, yet they have the this upgrade here that just makes them fast builds. Also, there's also upgrades we can see, but I think. I don't think we can see. Yeah, that is. But it only costs. They reduce the cost so much. HG-100 is now being supported by the 85s. They might be able to actually threaten these super suppressors. Tag it out. And now that's an opening for this other 85 to use. Oh, yeah, Van Lieb is going for it. The super suppressors are in big trouble. It lacks vision though, as you can see. It needs infantry to actually spot for it. Like, tanks really just lack need infantry support to spot for it. But he's still chasing. Oh, it missed! Panzer's fausted away. Can it take it your last one? Oh, it can! That's huge! It's not going to be cheap to replace that many Stukas, whereas the T-45 is super cheap with Tank Command at this point. Like, how cheap is it actually? 95. There it is. Yeah, 250 manpower and 50 fuel if you're playing as Tank Commander. That is really cheap. So this 85 could just be spammed out. Panzer Force doing an assault up on the north flank. But the 100mm from the SU is doing a lot of work. But the Panzer Force are advancing. Big rounds are happening. The SU-100 is doing pretty well at range here. But Soviet infantry is suffering heavy losses doing this. But they can be replaced. 85 having a duel with the Panzer Force. SU-100 remains at the flank here. Takes out another Panzer IV. Looks like the SU-100 did get taken out. That's now double 85 though. Takes out another one. And there we go, the Panzer Force being cleared out. Now the Germans are suddenly very much in the back foot, as you can see with the attrition fighting. They cannot replace their losses as easily as the Soviets can. And that's really starting to be felt. As the Soviets can just keep pumping out units. Like, the Germans should probably have pushed way early and found a way to break through, instead of just allowing the Soviets to build up their force and get the steamroller going. Because once the Soviet steamroller gets going, it's very hard to stop. I don't think the rockets are doing enough for them. I think they might have invested a little bit too much into it. IS-2 is down to move on the southern flank, and the 100mm guns are certainly also helping for the Soviet side here. And more 85 tanks just pouring onto the battlefields. You do have some stormtroopers now arriving here for the Mthis. The stormtroopers are really efficient at what they do. Very costly though. Oh! 4 units, 4 infantrymen killed by an AP round from a SU-100. That is very rare. It's all clumped up or something.
The enemy is trying to destroy a structure.
Also, the 85s relocating again. Yeah, the Germans are lacking infantry to hold the ground. Now the Soviet tanks are just amassing again. That's a lot of 85s. They can overrun this 88. They just need to keep pushing. You need to not be afraid. Sure, they'll take losses, but that's kind of what you're supposed to do as the Soviets. You see, they cleared it out there. They need to just keep pushing, but they do have a Tiger tank on the flank. IS is quickly using an AP round. They penetrate. Ah, they lost sight. The IS has to back off. But the IS's frontal armor is holding up, as you can see. Oh, they lost the main gun though! And we'll be having IS-2 also pushing in the southern flank. But it's not accurate in the move, as you can see. Pakistan is going to take a shot here at long range. As he manages to penetrate. And then the Elephant takes it out.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
So the center flank of the Waffen-SS has managed to recuperate most of its losses. Though. Then again, it actually hasn't taken that many losses. It's just able to keep the infantry alive. But the Maxims are just too much for them to move out in the open like this. The Germans have managed to secure the northern island again somewhat. At least the fuel points. And building more and more pillboxes. Lots of pillboxes there. Oh, we have some brain carriers here with guards inside. I think this is a battle group actually for the Soviet tank commander. I think it's actually a very unique guard regiment that's inside. That's the ones that took Berlin, if I'm not mistaken. Or one of the units that fought in Berlin anyway. So roaming around here on the flank using vodka and forced march with Ura. Managed to get just behind. I kept moving though. They could have been out of range at the pillbox. Still, the guards might want to disembark. But the rest of the front line is still just being shelled on both sides. I feel the guards need to jump out of the universe. There we go. 11 guards. Yeah, okay. Ooh, Stooks! That's actually a good choice from commander section here. Stooks a little bit under defense. And also it's a very high rate of fire, especially when they're veterancy free. Thanks to the Kampfkraft Center, I imagine. There's an SU-100 nearby though. But they do have a pack and an 88 nearby. Might be that SU. Yep, 88 shield goes straight through it.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the
And the more IS is just arriving. Lots of NKVD troops on the field here in Alpha Office. Flying more on their battle groups at this point. Oh, Kagapur lost everything. Oh, they're full manpower? Why are they not getting infantry? And they could get a lot of infantry here to hold the line. Perhaps they've suddenly given up, you never know. Good shot there from the 85. ISU 152 on the move.
T-34 ready for combat.
Oh, Warlock penetrating the stock there. The stock didn't penetrate either. And this has been a long match. He was Mthis are firing again. Again, do not doing that much damage, mostly forcing some mobility issues. And the IS-2s are threatening the front again. NKVD on the move, but they are moving someone in the blob, which you generally don't want to do. And yeah, Kakapu's not getting anything. They have nothing. They could probably get some units to help. Especially now that they're maxed out on resources. So that's not looking good for the Germans. All of a sudden they have a player who's not actually, you know, playing.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
You know, the Soviets are just slowly getting ground again. And so many pillboxes across the front line.
Anti-tank gun is ready for action.
And the immigrants are just shelling the Soviets. IS-2 trying to apply pressure down here. And KVD is stuck in. So much pressure. Oh! Looks like the Waffen SS infantry is starting to advance across the island here. There's not that much to stop them yet, apart from a lot of Soviet infantry who has no automatic weapons. Which the Germans can take full advantage of. Now the stormtroopers and the Panzer Grenadiers to really get some ground going. Damn! Doing a lot of damage there to the Soviets. All these pillboxes. I guess they'll stop the infantry at least, but
Enemy forces, we have a forward structure under attack.
I'm not sure they're that useful in the bigger scheme of things, but who am I to judge? Perhaps you know far better than I do. I don't play that much anymore, so I have a job after all, which takes up a lot of my time, and I don't really have the patience for sitting in lobbies for that long. I mostly play Spearhead and Company Heroes free at the moment, if I can get a game to this.
Guards troops ready for action.
More Fonzaviki right into the front line here. The Soviets can just pile the troops in. They have no issues replacing their losses, as you can see. They're just pouring men to the front line, non-stop. I don't really like the Kakabuers to stop playing. Not a good sign. There's some Sturm Division, Sturm Grenadiers here. No, but a unit available that's unique supposed to be shown, much like these 25th Panzer Grenadiers. Really cool Panzer Grenadier unit, by the way. Looks like Commanders can score for much more with Stuks, which is I personally like. I like Stuks. They seem to have issues penetrating the sides. Oh, this is 85. I'm not sure how. They should be penetrating that a lot easier. Yeah, like that.
Give us a second.
There it goes. And the two of them are also faced into each other, so it's a double stuck. ISU 152 on the move. But like, you can see how fast they were firing. Oh! They failed to penetrate! Stock needs to be cautious though with this thing around. Rockets are firing. One's trying to disable it. Stock needs to open up on this ISU. Oh, there's no infantry left for commando section. The Germans are just being bled dry. Six NKVD squads. The NKVD is not that powerful.
Standing by.
And it's got kind of silent now. I think both sides are getting kind of exhausted. They have been fighting for over an hour.
A fresh officer has arrived.
And I don't like how Kakapo has just stopped playing. I never feel that's very nice.
Standing by. Send orders.
Man actually needs to get some more infantry out.
Crew, get ready.
Like these kind of stalemates is also why I've decided I prefer actually victory points, because then it doesn't stalemate as much. I tried to play with victory points in Combat Heroes 3 Spearheads. I would prefer some victory point matches too for this, because yeah, sometimes these matches take a lot of time, and it actually takes a lot of energy for me to speak for this long. Well, looks like some of the Sooks saw some big shots here. Actually loading a smoke round. That's gonna be a big smoke round. Poof! Yeah, because Kakapo stopped playing. EP-45's on the move. Need to push up here. IS-2's also heading to an open flank now, so they're going to try and see if they can break through up here. All the pressure is being applied. But the Soviet infantry needs to push up alongside it, I feel. You have Soviet infantry being prepared here in the center. More conscripts are also moving up here alongside their officers. There were one gunner killed. Mr. Fuss is opening fire. Soviets have managed to secure the fuel point again. And this fight just keeps going back and forth. Looks like the German infantry trying to push southwards here, but the Soviets are kind of firmly dug in. Saying that though, good shots. And then KVD out in the open, they're just gonna get mowed down. Soviets are pushing through the center, or at least attempting to. That's a lot of wrecks. Probably it's gonna be those 88s. And the Tiger for that matter. The pillbox is also just causing a lot of issues. But the Soviets are still attempting it. The Soviets just need to keep applying pressure across the whole front. That's what the Soviet Union is good at doing. That's what they did in the real war, I think. They're just applying pressure across such a wide front. The Germans couldn't allocate all the stuff they needed across the front line. Which made it very difficult for the Germans to just hold the entire front line intact. I'm sure they could allocate stuff to whole parts of the front, but if the Soviets just kept pressing across the entire front, somewhere it would crack or something would slip through. And that's when it all just starts falling apart. Artillery being called here by the Soviet lieutenant. I think I should get a Capitan to call in something heavy around here, to be honest. Just flatten that hill.
What happened?
Yeah, it's so long now. Like, long ass match. Also, we're gonna have a little bit of a fight up here.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
I love how he's just slowly taking out the 85s bit by bit. IS-2 pushes up in the center again.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
Bam! Ultimately put in here by the Soviet Union. I think the Serbs might have made a little bit of a breakthrough here. Decisive are in danger. Yeah, both Decisive taken out here by the IS-2. The Germans still pushing up here. IS-2 in trouble. Everything is just being blunt force thrown at each other at this point. Issue 100 taken out there.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
Lead taken at 88. Oh, Panzer penetrates the front of the IS. 88 can take it out. So they might actually be able to back off. Both sides are just suffering heavy losses here. Tiger tanks are now present for over the center again, but Maverick lost practically all the infantry. We still have a few squads though. Few S&2. One side has to push through now at this point. Whoever pushes through now and makes a breakthrough, I think, has practically won this fight. Maybe artillery strike being called here by the Soviet Capitan before he dies.
We have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Just to deny this ground. Doesn't do much damage to the tanks though. And the bleeding just continues. Everything is just blowing up. 100mm gonna go shut down the Tiger. Yeah, Kagabu going AFK like this in the middle of a game, that's just not cool. Not cool, bro. IS-2 in the move. I feel the Soviets kind of have this held down. I think we just need to see who breaks through. IS-2 is advancing again. No IS-2 in the flank, but it got penetrated by something. Probably that 88. So much happening everywhere. Cannot keep up with all the stuff. But the NKVD is assaulting down here. They're taking out the gunners of the flag here, so they just need to keep pushing. That's a lot of NKVD just being blobbed up. That's a lot of NKVD. I don't think I've ever seen that many NKVD. So this is setting up more and more infantry.
Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
And a 100mm beam, so I really think these 188mm guns need to be limited like the artillery pieces can be. For this exact reason that you're just creeping up with them. Panzer 4Js are being relocated southwards to deal with the NKVD. And that's gonna force the NKVD to start backing off. But now the 100mm is present. And misses. Also the service advance to break through. Yeah, it's over at this point. Not cool with Kakabu just basically going AFK and not actually leaving, so an AI at least to start applying pressure. That's not cool at all. I do not condone such kind of behavior. But I think this is a firm victory for the Soviet Union. It's been an intense battle here. Very intense battle. And then Maverick drops. No, but they finally surrender. That took long enough. Alright. I hope you all enjoyed at least the longest part of this one. I'll see you all next one, everyone. Bye-bye.